Oh, good thing it worked this time. Hi, everybody. How are you today? I am here to talk with you and give you some training on hosting. And if you could see the question on my description for the live, it's do you think hosting is sexy? So if you think hosting is sexy, pop it in the comments. I didn't mess it up. Okay, so here's why I think hosting is sexy. And I'll tell you, but I would love to know what you guys think as well. So if you think hosting is sexy, pop it in the comments. And my my assumption is that you would probably say, nah, not so much. But here's why I think it's sexy. Because, hey, Danny, how you doing? Because education and knowledge that give you control to make the decisions in your business for your livelihood, for your passions, that's what's sexy. So if you know just enough about hosting to make the right decisions for your business, I think that's kind of sexy, ladies. I gotta tell you, we gotta like stand in our power and be empowered and know the things we need to know. So my goal here today with you is to break this down into very user-friendly features about hosting that will be important for you. And I'm gonna just give this caveat right here and now. I'm not getting super techie on this training. This is not going to be about the PHP and the speed and the security and whether or not it's a VP hosted or managed WP. I'm making the assumption in this that as entrepreneurs and very likely in the tech world, a more beginner stage, that you need secure hosting, that a reputable company will provide those basics that you need, and that we're all going to go with something that's standard and not dedicated VP, VIP hosting, which is quite expensive, like a couple $100s a month. So I'm making the assumption right now that that's not what we're doing. If you're in a different category, you can pop it in the comments, let me know. If you're on board with me, you can pop that in the comments too. Like, we're going with the standard that will still give us what we need without, huge investments. So, are you ready? I have my laptop open here. I'm going to go through the 5 steps with you. You can grab it in the file section of the group if you want to download it. There's a checklist on there too that you can use going forward. So here's the thing with this. The world of hosting can be big and confusing, and if you don't know what's involved, it can be a little bit scary. And so I have this kind of thing come up with my clients where they just don't know what to do or what decisions to make, and that's why I'm doing this training for you. Excuse me. So let's just start with the little bits and pieces that a hosting program, like all different softwares that are on the web for business, can go from a few dollars a month. Literally, you can get hosting for $3 a month, up to a couple of $100s a month. So the programs that I generally work with, and I have some recommended companies on the sheet at the bottom, but when I work with these companies, I'm generally going with between $10 and $30 a month is the range of expected expenditure for hosting. So I'm going moving right in. We have one of the most important things is very basic, but I really stress this, is when you're choosing a company, find out, do they have phone support? Super important that you can pick up a phone and talk with someone, because this is an area of technology that so many people don't know. So you need to know that you can go to the company and ask the expert support from their staff when using their program. So phone support is key, and a lot of the companies are doing this now. A couple of years ago they weren't doing so much phone support, but now they are, and so that's good. But make sure you get phone support. And personally, I like 24-hour, 7 days a week support, because as an entrepreneur, you don't know what you're working on, when you're going to work on it, and when you're going to need help. So 24/7 phone support is just really key in my book. And it'll help you in the event that something happens, which we all hope doesn't, right? You want to be able to know that you can get the help you need. Okay. Step 2. Now, this is a newer criteria, but a lot of the companies, or the more reputable companies, are including SSL certificates for free. And here's why. Because Google, who's, in control of so much that happens, changed the algorithm, and it's affecting how sites are showing up. So they're almost giving a slap to sites that don't have an SSL certificate, because they're giving them a lower ranking, or they're saying this may not be a trusted site. So an SSL certificate used to be used mostly for e-commerce. If you had a gateway merchant account on your website and you were selling products, not even PayPal, they have their own merchant. So if you had your own merchant account and you were selling products and taking people's credit card information on your website, that's when you needed a real secure SSL. But, we never really needed it, because so many entrepreneurs were using, say, PayPal. So you would send someone to purchase on PayPal, and PayPal was holding that security and the credit card information. But now Google's saying everybody's got to have the security, because what happens is between your website and the server, there's information that can be picked up from other computers. And now the SSL certificate, even if it's not a purchase, right? Even if it's just emails and things like that. So now the SSL certificate is blocking that and protecting the bigger sites, the bigger number of sites, even smaller entrepreneurial sites. Hey, Amy, how are you today? Thanks for coming by. So, okay, so that's 2. We got the phone support and we got the SSL certificate. And what I'm finding with most of the companies now is that you can get both of those and there's no additional fees. Yay! So, okay, moving on to number 3, which is a staging environment. Staging environments have been around for a long time, and a lot of developers and designers use staging environments. I use them specifically with my clients to do our training sessions. So a staging environment is when you have a mirror image of your website. So here's mypattyrose.com, and my staging environment is an exact copy of it, but it's not detectable by the search engines. So I can go in here, I can tweak a new page, I can try a new layout, I can make all my changes with my clients. We can go in and I literally have them practice on the things I'm teaching them how to do. And then once we get it and nothing broke and we check it on the live view and it looks good, we click a button and it mirrors it back over to the live site. So a lot of the hosting companies are offering this now as an added feature. It's just a free added feature, and it's a really, really great one to have. So that's one of the things I now have on my checklist for clients. It's like, let's see all these features. Sorry about this. I'm just don't want my phone to fall. So that's my third tip, is a staging environment. It's not a mandatory. I'm just going to say that's not mandatory, but I think it's very helpful. And if a company has it, you could kind of put it like as a star, like, check this off as an extra. I'm reading here. No lawn mower today. Thank you, Amy. Thank goodness. I even have the windows open. I feel so much better. Yesterday, the lawnmower came. I had right before my live, and I had to close all the windows, and it was hot. Okay. Do you guys have any questions so far? I'm going to move on to step 4, but I just want to see if you have any questions. So the things we talked about so far was the 24/7, the SSL certificate, and the staging environment. And if I don't see any questions come up, I'm going to go ahead and go to tip 4, and it's about, my phone is blowing up with messages. I have to, you guys, pop in the comments, if you do Facebook Lives, do you put your phone on Do Not Disturb when you're doing the lives? Because I think that might be the best way to, I'm not sure. So I'll play with that on the next one. Okay, so step 4 is automated backup. So when you're looking at companies, the standard, right, like say Bluehost and I think SiteGround, the standard is that they'll do 30 days of backup. So they will take a backup of your site at the same time every day, say 8 p.m. every single day for 30 days. And on day 31, day 1 gets erased and they go over the same 30 days. So you will have a backup of 30 days, but you will not have a backup of 60 or 90 days. And, you know, this is something to know and have in your back pocket for when you're ready to get a real security web care and maintenance program, because you'd be surprised how much, when you want to go, how often you may want to go back in time to get information from your website. It's really, really important. And the other thing is, having this automated backup through your host is really great as a backup to your backup. So what I recommend, and we're going to do this in another training, but what I recommend is that you have a web care package or security plan and maintenance that gives you off-site backups. So like you get a backup of your site, but it's not maintained on the same server. We take it and put it somewhere else. That gives you more security. And then on top of that, you have your hosting company who's doing 30 days of automatic backups. So, you know, you're really covered in all different areas. And then the last one is the one-button restore. So I've had clients call me literally or see an email coming in the middle of the night, and a panicked client, like, oh my gosh, I think I just broke my site. And it happens. It happens less now because of the staging environments, but it does happen. So if you're working on your site, one tiny glitch can make it, break it. Or even if you're not maintaining your site correctly and a plugin updates but the theme didn't update, or that they both updated and now they're no longer talking to each other properly because the codes aren't meshing, it could break your site. It could break a page on your site. It could break your buttons on your site. Something could happen, right? So I get these panic calls from clients, and when you have a hosting company that does a one-button restore and they have 24/7 phone support, and they're taking backups, this is why all these things, put them all together, you've got a solid company. You can call them and say, my site's broken. What's the most recent backup you have of my website? Or no, I made changes since then. Can you go to this one? Can you restore it for me? And they can literally hit a button at the server end and restore your website. This is like paramount for your own security, so you can sleep at night. So those are the 5 most important things that I think as an entrepreneur you really need to have a handle on when you're choosing your hosting companies. So I'm just going to go over them as a review. We have 24-hour, 7 days a week phone support, not just email support. When you're scared about your livelihood and your website and all your work, you need to speak to someone on the phone. 2, have a staging environment so you can tweak and practice and play and learn and build without jeopardizing your live site, where your visitors and your clients are at the moment happen to be, you know, booking a service with you, and you don't want anything to happen. So work on your staging environment. Your SSL certificate, they should be free. I think a couple of companies I've seen are charging a small amount for SSL, but it's almost like if they're good companies, most of them are including it free because you need it. Google's putting it in the rules, and so you got to have it. Automatic backup, and what number of days the company's doing that backup. Are they doing a 30-day auto backup? Are they doing 60-day auto backup? The standard I see is 30. If a company has more than that, I'd say it's a pretty good thing. And then the last thing is that one button restore, so that you know you got peace of mind. If something happens, your site can be back up quickly. So that is my 5 steps. If you're looking at the sheet, which you could have picked up from the files, I have my favorites for hosting. There's WP Engine is in the $30 a month range. It's my favorite. It is not a cPanel. All the others are a cPanel environment where you can go in and access your files in a different format. But I love WP Engine. I think their service is outstanding. They're in the higher range. And here's what I do. Because it's more expensive, I have my main website on WP Engine. Then I have another account with SiteGround where it's unlimited sites, so I have several of my other domains hosted with SiteGround. Again, they have really great, I have found really great site support at SiteGround. I've been using SiteGround for, I want to say 6 months now. I was with Bluehost for many years. I got disappointed with their customer service. They still have good service, but it just went down. So I switched to give SiteGround a try. Bluehost is still a reputable company. They still have a really affordable option. So SiteGround and Bluehost are both in the I want to say $6 a month range for the basic package. And then there's Flywheel, and Flywheel's a really up and coming hosting company as well, and they're more in the $15 range. So those are the other things. I guess I could have put that on the checklist, is the pricing, but you know, I know that's, everybody's going to look at the different pricing. These are all good companies, and the pricing ranging from 6 to 15 to 30 gives you some range where you can work out, as long as they have those 5 features. And I think the only one that I don't think Bluehost has a staging environment, but you'd have to double check on that. I will double check on that. I can put it in the comments. But all the other companies on my sheet have the 5 tips. And I will just make this little disclaimer. These are my affiliate links connected to these sites. I do recommend only products and services that I use myself or have used myself, and I know that they will be beneficial to my clients and people who are interested in my training. So I would get a small thank you from the company should you use my link. That's totally your choice. You can just go into Google and type WordPress and WP Engine if you want, and you don't have to use my links. So just, you know, what do you call that? A disclaimer. And that's what I have for you. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Let me see what's going on here. Hey, Barb, how are you today? Did you guys find this helpful? And do you want me to keep doing these techie trainings for you? Because I'm lining them up to give you bite-size pieces of the different decisions you're going to need to make when building a website. Okay, so it looks like you don't have any questions for me today. If you do, if you're watching the recording, very helpful. Thank you so much, Amy. I'm really glad you could come by too. I really appreciate your being here live and your support. If you do come up with questions, or if you're watching the recording and you have questions, pop them in the comments. I always come back to make sure that I'm staying up to date with who's coming in and what you need, and I will reply. The next one, I'm going to put my dates out for next week. So here's what I'm doing right now. This week, because I was traveling, I had to pick these 2 days. And then I decided that I'm going to change the 2 days for next week. I'll probably do I think I'm going to do Tuesday and Wednesday next week because I want to get a feel for what's the best days for you guys. Going forward in the next month or so, I'm going to start a weekly, 1 day a week standard. So I'm trying to get a feel for you from everybody in the group when that would be the best, what's the best time. So if you have thoughts on that, please go ahead and again share in the comments and let me know what works best for you, and I'll keep that in mind in my planning. But for the next ones, I'm probably going to do Tuesday Tuesday and Wednesday next week, and I'll do the next few things in the process of what you need to know. Now, you guys, I have a training coming up that's not going to be here in the group. It's the 10 exact steps I use to build and produce my website in a week and then start gaining clients immediately. And I'm really super excited about it. It's going to be interactive. It's going to be implementing. It's going to be very informative. And if you're interested, please type in the comments, yes for the webinar. Put yes for the webinar. That'll help. And then I will go back and I'll make sure I send you the link so that you can get the information on the webinar. This webinar is coming up in the next 2 weeks, and I'm super, super excited about it. So let me know if you want to be part of that. Other than that, I'm going to wrap up for this afternoon. I hope you guys have a really, really fantastic Friday and an awesome weekend. And awesome, Amy. I will send you that info right away. And I hope you have a great weekend. You have any fun plans, Amy, for the weekend? I'm having my afternoon cappuccino again. Gosh, I love it. There's just something about it that makes me so warm and fuzzy and happy. I've been in Florida since Wednesday at midnight, so this is my second day here, and we didn't get to the beach yet. So, oh no, you're recovering from the flu. I'm sorry. I hope you're feeling better. And if you can stay in for the weekend and keep resting, that's probably the best thing, right? Yeah. Come join us. It's lovely here. I really am enjoying it. But I didn't get to the beach yet, and I'm hoping to do that in the next, maybe even this afternoon for an hour, just get to the beach for a little bit. So, okay, I'm gonna head out. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Please rest up, Amy, feel better, and I will talk to you guys real soon. Bye. Thank you. Again, you know, some reason the finish button doesn't work very well, so here I am.